Mr. Frey. He nodded slightly, then looked down at his clasped hands. When I returned to the bar, Colt was waiting for me, shaking his head and laughing. He said, "It's a bad day when you strike out with an old guy, Maggie May." Ew, that's disgusting. He was a client of my father's. I picked up my beer and took a sip as I glanced back at Walter Frey's table. My vantage point gave me a good look at the side of their table. The woman was leaning forward and, judging from the look on her face, giving him an earful. "Didn't your father run off when you were in middle school?" I jerked my gaze back to Colt and asked defensively, "How do you know that?" He held up a hand. "Whoa, calm down. Tilly told me. What's with all the antagonism?" "Because unlike everyone else, I know my father didn't run off with Shannon Morrissey." He paused. "Then who did he run off with?" I looked into Colt's eyes. He didn't run off with anyone. My father was murdered, and I'm pretty damn sure Mr. Antsy Pants knows what happened. Colt gave me a hard look. "You think that weaselly-looking guy killed your father? I hate to typecast, but he really doesn't look like a cold-blooded murderer." "He didn't do it." I shook my head. "Or I don't think he did. Look, all I know is that he was supposed to meet my father the night he disappeared. My father left for the meeting, but he never came home." Magnolia. The pity in his voice did nothing to ease my mood. "What are you doing here, Colt? Tilly did send you, didn't she?" "I heard all the shouting between you and your mother, so I decided to come check on you." He bumped his shoulder into mine. "It can't be easy going from living in New York City to living in Franklin. And then there's dealing with your mother 24/7. I know I couldn't do it." "I just feel so guilty," I said, looking into my glass of beer. "I want to move out so badly, but I know I need to stay." He took a sip of his beer, then asked, "Why do you need to stay at your mother's? Is it money?" Well, crap. I'd almost spilled the beans on Mama's cancer diagnosis, and she definitely didn't want anyone but me and Tilly knowing, even if she didn't realize my brother knew. While I felt guilty about leaving her alone, I didn't know how much more I could take of being her house guest and employee. Soon I might be tempted to finish her off before her cancer did. "I have to move out." I turned to look at him. "And I need another job." "Whoa, don't get crazy now. You're working at the catering business." "I suck at the catering business." I sighed as I rested my forehead on my hand. The only two things I'm good at are waiting tables and working in the theater. But the last time I worked as a waitstaff at Mama's party, I became a person of interest in Max Goodwin's murder. Besides, I'm the star of a very unfortunate viral video. I'm too much of a distraction for Mama and Tilly to let me out in the public eye. "There are plenty of other things you can do to help with the business. Look at me." I narrowed my eyes. "I see you there all the time, but I don't see you doing a whole lot of anything. How do I get your job?" He shot me a look of mock disgust. "I work. I bartend at events, and I help with loading and driving the van, as well as a host of other errands for the Bells." "So what do you propose I do? I'm hopeless in the kitchen, and my history prevents me from waitressing." "Maybe you could work in the office." I already got them caught up. Their whole system is digital now. Everything from filing to appointments. "Well, you're just too efficient, Maggie May. You need to slow your roll." He waved his flattened hand in front of him as if he were icing a giant cake. I lifted my eyebrows. "Slow my roll? What decade is this?" He winked. "Sure, that's right. You go ahead and deflect." "Deflect?" I shook my head. "You don't seem like the kind of guy to say deflect." "And you're still doing it," he drawled. "Anything to take the focus off the real issue, your delusion that your father was murdered." I heard a gasp, and I turned to find my sister-in-law Belinda standing behind me, wide-eyed. "I had no idea your daddy was murdered. Ray told me that he ran off with a client's wife and took a bunch of money with him." I wasn't surprised to hear Roy was touting the company line. After all,